Today we are covering the topic of truth versus fact and what is the difference. I'm going to be starting a series on kind of apologetics because I really believe that the question for this generation is there truth? And no longer can you go to somebody's door and say, if you died today, do you know if you'd be going to heaven and hell? Because they'd be all, if you died today, would you go visit Tinkerbell in the land of fairies? Like, how do you even know there's a heaven or a hell? So there is no premise or foundation of what truth is. And it's good to discuss that and to not blindly follow anybody's teachings, because that's how cults are started. And I did a very in-depth series on cults and is the Independent Fundamental Baptist Church culty, because you can find cult-like mindsets anywhere. You can find it in any denomination. You can find it in any teaching. Marxism has the elements of a cult. So it's not the question of, is a teacher persuading people in a just, viable cause? The question really is there truth? So I want to just touch on why this is important to me, so much so that in my devotional, Amazingly Deep Roots, I dedicated the whole last half, or the last section of it, to this topic of, can you trust the Bible? Because we all will be pushed and pushed and pushed to a point where you even come to the question, is there a God? And when I was coming to that point in my life, I did a video on my YouTube channel about the day I stopped believing. And there were some things that pushed me to that. And then it was learning the stuff that I'm about to share in the next few podcasts or videos, depending on where you're watching or listening to this. But it was this information that made me realize, wait, I'm only hearing one side of the story. I'm not investing as much in looking at the verifiable facts that would lead me to a truth that the Bible is accurate, as I was looking at the facts that would make me question the accuracy of the Bible. So then that begs the question, what's the difference between a fact and a truth? So the way you would describe it, somebody said this, that if we took every science book and every fact and destroyed them all, in 1,000 years they'd all be back, because all the same tests would produce the same results. So if we destroyed the book of Darwin and the idea and the theory of evolution, in 1,000 years, would somebody come up with the same conclusion based upon the same information that we see? Or more, would you look at the law of thermodynamics? Is gravity a fact? I grabbed the wrong paper, and so I started talking about the next thing. But that really is a good definition of what a fact is. But when you are discussing facts, it's important to realize, well, let me go back a little bit. When I was studying whether the Bible was true or false, I was reading Dawkins' book on the God delusion. And he said that the Bible couldn't be true because it contradicted itself, and he cited historical, quote, facts. He said that in Luke 2, you would see that Caesar Augustus declared that all the world should be taxed, and Cyrenius was governor of Syria. And then in Matthew 2:1, it says, in the days of Herod the king, behold, there came wise men from the east of Judea. That is important because those are verifiable rulers that have sources that speak of them. And those sources that we would credit as factual, it really is the Antiquity of the Jews by Josephus. So what he said was that according to the Antiquity of Jews, that and historical tradition, I guess you would say, that Herod died in 4 BC. And according to Wikipedia, who cites Josephus, they say that Cyrenius was a governor of Syria in 6 AD, according to the fact that it said that he was a senator and there was a local taxation. And I thought, well, that's interesting, because if they said that Cyrenius was the governor in 6 AD, but Herod died in 4 BC, that couldn't have been the same time. And then I researched those, quote, facts, because the truth, which is discerning an assumption based on facts, the truth that Richard Dawkins came up with, his discerning of, quote, the facts, led him to believe that those two things contradicted each other. But if you dig a little bit deeper, you read that it says that in a Roman Republic, there is a difference between a senator and a governor. Who is the senator of your state? Who's the governor of your state? Those are two different roles, and we actually model our republic similarly to the Roman Republic. And they were very, very well the difference between a senator and a governor. And in fact, in the Antiquities of Jews, a few chapters before they talk about Cyrenius being the senator during this local taxation, he spoke of the governors of different places. So they knew the difference, and they spoke of two different things. So it says that he was a senator in 6 AD, not a governor. And it says there was a local taxation in 6 AD, not a worldwide taxation. And things that are different are not the same. And an absence of evidence, just because Josephus's Antiquity of the Jews didn't speak of the worldwide taxation and didn't speak of Cyrenius being a governor, didn't mean that it didn't happen. But that being a governor during the worldwide taxation is not the same as being a senator during a local taxation. So the facts are he was a senator. When people come up with truth, that is based on a preconceived belief system, or maybe an accumulation of evidence that would cause them to lean and to discern a truth. So facts are what you would present at a case. Here is the evidence, jury, and from this evidence, can you discern a truth, a verdict? So I posted that information on the difference between a governor and a senator, and the dates and the taxation and things aren't the same. I posted that on Wikipedia, and they took it down, and they said they were not interested in truth. They were interested in facts. So actually, Wikipedia is interested in their truth, not facts. So they took down the sources and citations that I gave and said I was speaking truth, not facts, even though the facts were that he was a senator, not a governor. Why is that important to this topic of apologetics? Because facts are part of truth. And if the question that we're coming to is there truth, you need to understand that to build a case for a truth, you need to have a lot of facts to support it, or else it's just a theory. Unfortunately, facts can be used to deceive when used out of context, and that's why we understand that facts are not truth. An isolated fact is like a stray piece of a puzzle. It is an object, an article, a fragment of information, a bit of trivia. Discerning truth is a matter of interpreting facts, as in the case of a court case. An individual's entire future may hang upon the jury's ability to recognize truth from the weight of evidence or facts. And the same is true with the case of the Bible. What are the facts that support the Bible? Or do we just believe a cultural tradition to be truth, as Dawkins suggested, saying that the Bible is just that? It's just a cultural tradition that causes bondage and oppression and whatever other accusation they want to throw at the Bible. So that's what I hope to share in the following few videos and podcasts, is the mounting evidence of facts that support that Scripture is truth. Before I go any further, I just wanted to, so in our blog coming up, or maybe I've already posted it by the time this comes out, our website is www.truthandsong.com, and I always try to post a word that inspires me in my Christian walk, and in the month of September, I'm posting the word go, for go ye into all the world and preach the gospel to every creature. But something that my husband and I have been doing, I created this door hanger. You can't see it if you're on a podcast, but you can see it if you go to our webpage or on YouTube or Instagram. And it just says, is there truth? And it presents 5 basic points of truth that I'm going to be covering in these podcasts. But then on the flip side, it says, if the Bible is true, because this points towards the evidence that God in the Bible is an intelligent faith. But if the Bible is true, then we have everyone must give an account of their lives to God. There is a penalty for our sin. Jesus paid the sin debt for us. Jesus rose from the dead, and the truth shall make you free. And I present the verses in all of those. And then there's a place where you could put your church's website. So this is something, I know that a lot of people don't respond well to door, but this is a good seed. And I just have it as a resource if you guys want to take it as a template and then use it. I printed mine up on, I think it was on maybe Vistaprint, or I'm not sure, but it wasn't expensive. But it's a good option to help you in soul winning. And I think it's an encouragement to believers. It's an encouragement to maybe somebody who's struggling in their faith. I'm not making any money for this. I just really, really want to be a soul winner. and it's something that I feel is a good seed. So if you want to get that template for that, it's on our blog at truthandsong.com. This was a short video because it was just an introductory video, but I did want you to understand the difference between facts and truth and what I'm going to try to present throughout the next several videos. And if you have any questions for me about this, go ahead and contact me at Instagram at amazinglydeepthoughts, and I can field any questions you might be getting in regards to apologetics. So that's it for today. I'm looking forward to sharing the rest of the videos. Talk to you later.